Today we're taking a look at the DWX from Dan Wesson and CZ. This is just a first looks video, not a full review, because I have not had this gun long enough to get over 1,000 rounds for my full thoughts. I just wanted to be able to make a video for you guys since I got this pre-released to be able to give you an idea of this gun, all the features, what it looks like, how it shoots and functions and feels, and give you just a really quick first look of the gun. But before we get into that, CZ did send me this firearm to test. So let's go over this gun and all of its features. So what you have here is the ergonomics of a CZ. So if you're really comfortable or know CZ guns, you're going to be very comfortable with this handgun. And then you have the fire control of a 1911. So you have a really nice crisp trigger, which we'll go over here. I got a trigger gauge now from Brownells, which is fantastic because now I can actually check trigger pull. So we'll check that a little bit later in this video. But you really have the best of both worlds with the 1911 and the CZ, and this is such a smooth gun. So let's go over the bottom to the top, going over all the features really quick. This is a 19 round mag with no extension, so I'm sure they'll come out with some extensions later on that will give you some extra mags, but this is your normal CZ mags. So my full size CZ, I have 3 of those mags. These all fit just fine in this gun. So you can rotate those mags. If you already have CZ mags, you're gonna have mags for this gun as well, which is really nice. And these are already really nice mags and they're trusted and they have been known to work really well. So now going up to your grip, like I said, you have the ergonomics of the CZ. The grip texture on this is fantastic. It is very grippy without being too much and uncomfortable, but I've noticed that it is super textured and it really connects to your hand really well. It's hard for me to explain it, but when I first grabbed this gun, it just feels like it's not going anywhere. Like you would have to pull this gun away. So I really like the texture of the grip, and the design itself is very comfortable. If you have CZs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you're just gonna take my word on it, and the fact that it fits your hand very well, and that's something CZ is really good at, is the ergonomics and the designs of these grips to make them comfortable, especially when shooting like competition and other things like that. So now going up to your mag release. This is an oversized mag release, very easy to press. Then moving over to your trigger, this is a 1911 style trigger, so it's already very trusted trigger system and works really well. A lot of people already like that system. Let's go ahead and pull the trigger gauge out, and we are gonna test this to see the actual pull weight. .312. 313, 315. So now you press the average button, 3127 is our average. So you're looking at a 3-pound trigger on this, and it feels very comfortable when shooting, especially when shooting a lot of rounds in a quick succession, which I'll show you some B-roll here of me doing that. Then over here, you have a full rail on the bottom for mounting different lights. I was rocking the Surefire X300 for a while, and that is an absolute flush fit. As you could tell there, it looks really nice on there, perfectly in line with the end of the barrel. And then the next one I was testing on here is the Mod Light flashlight as well. This one sticks out just a tad, but still looks really nice on this gun. So I will probably end up rocking one of those and actually keeping it on this gun for a while. Now moving up to the front here, you have slide serrations for very easy manipulation. Like I said, this is such a smooth gun. Dan Wesson did a fantastic job with this and making sure everything is so smooth and meets very well. And you can tell, especially when you shoot the gun, it just feels great. The recoil is low, and you can shoot quickly very easily with this gun. Now moving up to the sights, you have some fiber optic sights. These are very traditional to what you're used to. If you run fiber optics, there's nothing special about them. There's the blacked out back rear that are adjustable, and then your front just has the green fiber optic in the front. You can change that out to red or whatever you want if you'd like to. I'm comfortable with the green. I think it works really well. I went out to 40 yards and was able to shoot consistently with that. I'm going to push it back a little bit farther, especially since this is really, I would say, more of like a competition-y style gun. I would love to conceal carry this, honestly, just because it's a beautiful gun, but it is a little on the heavy side, but I can shoot comfortably at a distance with this. I'd like to push it back a little bit farther, see about 75, 80 yards and see how it shoots from there, but we will do that later and push this thing more to its limits in the full review. We'll be going over all that stuff then. So one of the nice benefits when they went with the 1911 and the CZ is it maintains those same parts. So if you have 1911 parts, you can still use those for the system. If you have CZ parts like the magazines, you can still use those for the system. So you don't have to have a whole new box of extra parts. I'm sure you have a lot of extra parts already, so you can still use those on this gun, which is pretty cool. I'll throw up a B-roll here of all the list of parts that are 1911, the same ones that are CZ, and then the ones that are a little bit more proprietary to the system. So I'm really excited to continue shooting this gun and get the round count up there to past 1,000. I am about just at 120, so I'm just breaking this gun in, but I wanted to get this video out to you because of the release date, and then I will continue to test this further and then do a full review later on when I get it up there. If you guys have any questions about this gun in particular, please put them in the comments and I will try to answer those for the actual full review. The price on this gun is $2,100, so that is going to be a decision up to you to see if that is worth it or if that is something maybe you are not going to be able to afford and want to go with something different. But I will say this gun feels like a $2,100 gun. It does not feel cheap. It doesn't feel like they cut corners. I feel like they put a lot of thought in the system, especially since they have pushed this back. I know they wanted to release this earlier, but they really put a ton of thought into this and made sure it was done right before releasing this. And in my personal experience and the stuff I've done so far, I can really tell that this is a fantastic gun. I'm really excited. I hope it continues to work good. I've had zero malfunctions in the testing that I have done. I've ran 3 different styles of ammo, just trying to see if it's finicky, because I know some of these higher end guns, these really fancy looking guns, can sometimes be finicky with ammo and they want you to push a certain kind of ammo. But I ran cheap, I think it was like aluminum cased ammo, basically the cheapest stuff you can get, and I ran it through this and it ran flawlessly. So hopefully this video was able to help you make a better decision if you are really wanting to buy one right now. Hopefully this was able to help answer a couple questions about this system and maybe at least give you an idea, and then maybe it also made you decide maybe not so much, maybe I'll get something else, or maybe I'll wait until the full review comes out and find out if it continues to work really well, which I foresee that it's going to continue to work really well because I'm 120 already into it with 0 issues, and I am having a ton of fun with this gun. So hopefully everything stays the same and I'll give a good report for the full review. That is always the goal. But if you guys want to help out the channel, there is a couple ways to do that down in the description. There is a discount code from companies that I trust that you can use to save some money. There's also a link to my website. A couple companies that support me and the things I do here is Howitzer and Brownells. Howitzer is a clothing company that donates 5% of proceeds to charity, which is really cool. They make these flannels, which is great for range days, and then winter time, which is right now. They make jeans, shoes, a bunch of other stuff as well, but go check them out. And then Brownells is a company that supports me a ton, and I appreciate them so much. You can use code TA10, save 10% on orders of $150 or more. Other than that, guys, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them in the next video. If I don't know them personally, I will reach out to CZ or Dan Wesson and get them answered so I can make it as accurate as a review as possible for you guys. That is always the goal, is to be able to give you as much information in these videos. I try to keep them condensed. I try to talk as quickly as possible without still being able to be heard and understood, but I try to put as much information in these videos without them being like 15, 20, 30 minutes long. I don't want these videos to be obnoxious, and I don't want to waste time, so I try to get as much information as possible to you guys that is accurate to be able to help you make a better purchase decision. Other than that, guys, thank you so much, and I appreciate you all.